Okay, you guys, here we go. We're going to do area and perimeter of regular polygons. So we talked about this is what it looks like. Here's what your notes look like. We're talking about regular polygons, which means all sides are congruent. So one type of polygon that we're very familiar with that all sides are congruent are the equilateral triangle, right? A square would be another regular polygon. The rhombus. So those are some. This one is, how many sides does it have? One. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So this is a hexagon. So to label it, we're going to start with the center, which this is your center point. That is a very important part of finding areas for these figures. Then from the center out to a vertex. It has to be to a vertex. Then that is your radius. Just like in a circle, that is your radius. Any place you can go. So that would be a radius, that would be a radius, that would be a radius. I know these are not very straight. Everywhere to the vertex. It has to be to a vertex. Those are your radius, your radii. This would be your side, right? And in this figure we have 6 sides. It's a hexagon. This line from your center straight down, forming a 90-degree angle, is called your apothem. A-P-O-T-H-E-M. It's your apothem. And that forms a 90-degree angle with a side. Okay? That is what the apothem does. Alright, so the formula is going to be, for your area, is going to be 1/2 of the perimeter. And we know that perimeter is all sides added together. So if we took the side length and added all the side lengths together, we would get our perimeter times the length between the center and the sides, so the apothem. I'm going to use AP for short. Okay, so as we talked about in class, if you are a good rule follower for these formulas, you will be able to do this no problem. All right, so in this situation, what do we have? We know what the length is from the center straight down to the side length. That is all we know. But is it? Bum, bum, bum. So we know that the apothem is 4 square root of 3. Okay, so that does not give us enough information, but let's see if we can figure out what it is that we need to know. So in order to figure out the area, we need to find out what the side length would be, because that's going to help us find our perimeter. We have how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So we have 6 sides. Put that down. And we need to figure out the side length. Well, I don't know. I automatically am going to see this and think 30, 60, 90, but I don't know anything about the angles. But can I find out how many angles, how many degrees are in this hexagon? Well, I remember that there is a formula, n minus 2 times 180, and that will give me the degrees of the figure. So I have 6 sides. I'm going to say 6 minus 2 times 180. That's going to give me 4 times 180. 4 times 180, if I plug it into my calculator, is 4 times 180, 720. Okay, so now I know that in here, oops, I messed up. In here, this is 720 degrees in a hexagon. I know that all the sides are the same. Since all sides are congruent, all sides are equal, therefore all angles are going to be equal. So to find one angle, I can take 720 and divide it by the number of sides, right? If I have 6 angles, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angles. I take 720, divide it by 6, and I will get, let's see, 720 divided by 6 equals 120. So I know that this angle equals 120, and they all 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120. Okay. However, what then is kind of interesting is since this is the center, this is going to bisect the angle, which means that it cuts it in half. So if 120 is cut in half, then that means this is going to be 60, this will be 60. Ah, there we go. So we now have a 90-degree angle and a 60-degree angle, and so we know that that is going to be a 30-degree angle, which is our 30, 60, 90. And when we have our short leg is our x, our long leg is our x divided our square root of 3. Our hypotenuse is our 2x. Our short leg is opposite our smallest angle. So this is going to be our x square root of 3. So now we know that this side length right here, this one's 4 square root of 3. This would be our x square root of 3. So this would be our x, which would equal, oh, look at that, 4. X would equal 4. I didn't even mean to do that. It's clever. All right, so if this is 4, then we know that each side would be, then this would be also 4. So the entire side length is going to be 8. Okay, I know that I've got this triangle. I know that half of the bottom is, or the bottom of this is 4. I know that this is going to cut the side in half. So if this is 4, this would also be 4. Add them together and I get 8. All right, so I have a side length of 8. So now I can find my perimeter, right? My perimeter is going to equal 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. So I can write 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 6 times, or I can write the number of sides times 8. Either way, I'm going to get 48 as my perimeter. Okay. This is 48. This is 48. Okay, so now I've got my perimeter, and I know that my formula is area equals 1/2 of the perimeter times the apothem. So I can plug in, now I can plug everything in. I plug in 1/2. I plug in my 48 for my perimeter. And I plug in my 4 square root of 3 for my apothem. When I multiply it out, I get 48 times 4 is 192 square root of 3 divided by 2, which is going to equal 96 square root of 3. Okay? Alright, here's what I want to tell you. Basically, just be good rule followers. Use your formula. Know what you need. You need the perimeter. That is very familiar to you. You need the apothem. That is just a fancy word for saying from the middle straight down. We've been doing both of those. Okay. Let's work. Let's do these notes, and then I'll work some problems. So here we've got a very familiar polygon. This is a regular polygon. This is a triangle. If it's regular, that means all sides are going to be equal. So if I know all sides are equal in this triangle, you guys already know this is going to be 60 degrees, this is going to be 60 degrees, this is going to be 60 degrees. I've got my side, I've got my center. I remember that from the center straight down to form a right triangle is going to be an apothem. And the center to the vertex, make sure you know it goes to the vertex, is your radius. Okay, now if we know this is 60, this is 60, this is 60, what is this angle going to be? You guessed it, 30. So if we have a 90, 30, this would be then 60. So when I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, my short leg is X, my long leg is X square root of 3, and my hypotenuse is 2X. So in this situation with the triangle, my short leg, which is also my apothem, is going to be my X. This will be X, this will be, and this, the long leg, is going to be half of the side, which is your X square root of 3. And your radius will be 2X. Alright? So, we're going to use the exact same, be a good rule follower, and use the exact same formula, and we're going to come down here. So we've got a side length of 12. So we already have the side length is 12. I can automatically find out my perimeter. Perimeter is going to be 12 times the number of sides, which is 3. That'll give me 36. The formula for my area is 1/2 times the perimeter times the apothem. 1/2 times my perimeter is 36 times my apothem is 2 square root of 3. So when I multiply those all together, you can do it multiple ways. 1/2 of 36 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36, so 36 square root of 3. Okay? But I want you guys to understand this would be my x. This would be my x. This would be your x square root of 3. So what is this side going to be? That would be the side length. Here, if I do 2 square root of 3 is my x times the square root of 3. I hope you guys are going to say the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is always, always, always just a number in here. So that's going to be 2 times 3, which equals 6. For those of you who forgot, the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. But you don't even have to go through those mental gymnastics. Okay, that's it for the notes. I might do a couple problems for you in the next video.